Have you ever paused to consider how climate change is affecting our wildlife? Quite the ponderous thought, isn't it? Our planet is in the midst of a significant shift. Our climate is changing, and these changes can have profound impacts on the world's wildlife. Imagine a world where the symphony of bird songs is silenced, where the colorful dance of coral reefs is stilled, where the thunderous stampede of elephants is no more. This is not a fictitious nightmare, but a potential reality we face if the repercussions of climate change on wildlife are ignored. The importance of understanding this issue cannot be overstated. It's not just about the animals you see, it's about the delicate balance of our ecosystems, our planet, and ultimately, our own survival. Our fates are intertwined in this intricate web of life. As we delve into this critical topic, remember, knowledge is the first step towards change. Climate change is not just about warmer summers and harsher winters. It's a far-reaching phenomenon, a global upheaval that's shaking the very foundations of life as we know it. Let's take a moment to ponder over the broad effects of climate change. It's not just mercury levels that are spiking, entire weather patterns are taking a dramatic turn. Picture this. Regions that once reveled in gentle showers are now bearing the brunt of torrential downpours. Places that used to be havens of cool breezes are grappling with scorching heat waves. But the chaos doesn't stop there. As the Earth heats up, sea levels are on the rise, inching higher with each passing year. The culprit? Melting ice caps and glaciers, victims of our warming planet. This isn't just a concern for coastal cities bracing for floods. It's a threat to the intricate web of life beneath the waves as well. Add to this the increased frequency of extreme weather events. Storms are no longer just storms, they've morphed into monstrous cyclones and hurricanes. Droughts aren't merely periods of dryness, they've become prolonged episodes of life-sapping aridity. These changes, these upheavals, they disrupt the delicate balance of ecosystems. Imagine a finely tuned orchestra, where each instrument plays its part to create a harmonious symphony. Now imagine if the instruments start playing out of sync. The music turns into a cacophony, doesn't it? That's what's happening to our ecosystems. The rhythm of nature is out of sync. Every plant, every animal, every microorganism plays a vital role in maintaining the ecological balance. When climate change throws a wrench in the works, this balance is disrupted. Habitats are lost, food sources dwindle, migration patterns are thrown off track. And in this disrupted balance, it's our wildlife that pays the heaviest price. Imagine waking up one day to find that your food source has vanished. A chilling thought, isn't it? Yet, it's a grim reality for many of our feathered friends. The climate crisis is not just about melting ice caps and rising sea levels. It's also about the silent disruption in the lives of birds, our avifauna. Let's take a moment to understand this. Birds, like all creatures, have a rhythm to life, a rhythm tuned to the seasons. They migrate when the seasons change, chasing their food sources, and returning when their breeding grounds are ready. But what happens when the seasons themselves become unpredictable? Climate change, in its relentless march, is altering the very rhythm of seasons. Spring is arriving earlier, autumn is delayed, and this is causing a domino effect. The insects that birds feed on are emerging sooner, the berries are ripening before time. And the birds? They are caught in a deadly mismatch. Their migration patterns, honed over millennia, are now out of sync with their food sources. This is not just about a missed meal, it's about survival. Chicks in the nest need a constant supply of food. A delay of even a few days can mean the difference between life and death. And it's not just food. Changing weather patterns mean that birds are facing more extreme weather events, unexpected storms during migration, harsher winters, and hotter summers. Each of these is a hurdle, each of these is a threat. But birds are resilient, they are adapting, changing their migration routes, their timings. Yet, how long can they keep up? How long before the change is too drastic, too quick? Birds are not just creatures of beauty and song. They are crucial parts of ecosystems, pollinators, pest controllers, and seed dispersers. Their struggle is not just their own, it's a struggle that affects us all. So the next time you hear a bird song, remember, it's a call for survival in a changing world. The vast oceans are not just water bodies, they are homes. Homes to an astounding array of incredible creatures, From the tiniest plankton to the majestic blue whale, the largest animal to have ever lived on our planet. But these homes are under threat, and the inhabitants are struggling to survive. Climate change, a phenomenon largely driven by human activities, is causing our oceans to undergo drastic changes. One of these changes is ocean acidification, a result of excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere being absorbed by the oceans. This increased acidity is detrimental to many marine species, but particularly to those with calcium carbonate shells or skeletons, such as oysters, clams, and corals. Imagine living in a house that's slowly dissolving around you. That's the reality for these creatures. The acidification weakens their shells and skeletons, making them vulnerable to predators and disease, and ultimately threatening their survival. Rising water temperatures further exacerbate the struggle. Warmer waters can lead to coral bleaching, a phenomenon where corals expel the algae living inside their tissues, causing them to turn completely white. This is catastrophic because these algae provide the corals with the majority of their food. Without them, corals are likely to starve. Corals are not just beautiful underwater ornaments, they are vital ecosystems, providing shelter and food for a myriad of marine species. When the corals suffer, the entire reef suffers, affecting the countless creatures that depend on them. Sea turtles, clownfish, and even sharks could lose their homes if the reefs continue to decline, but the effects don't stop there. Many people depend on the bounty of the sea for their livelihoods. If marine life continues to struggle, it could have severe implications for human societies around the world. We need to remember that our actions on land have far-reaching consequences beneath the waves. The health of our oceans and the creatures that call them home is intrinsically tied to our own well-being. It's not just about saving the whales or the turtles or the coral reefs, it's about preserving the intricate web of life that sustains us all. Our actions on land have far-reaching consequences beneath the waves. The green canopies and the arid deserts both are feeling the heat. Climate change isn't just an isolated event, it's a global phenomenon that's shaking the very foundations of our planet's ecosystems. From the lush forests to the barren deserts, terrestrial wildlife is facing turmoil like never before. Let's consider the arid regions first. Picture a desert, vast, dry, and seemingly inhospitable, yet it's home to a myriad of life forms, each adapted to survive in extreme conditions. But as global temperatures rise, these regions are becoming even more inhospitable. Animals are facing heat stress, water scarcity is intensifying, and food sources are dwindling. Survival in the desert has always been a challenge, but climate change is making it a near impossibility for many. Moving on to the green canopies of the world, our forests. They are the lungs of the earth, the cradles of biodiversity. But as temperatures rise and weather patterns become more erratic, these habitats are shrinking and changing. Forest fires are becoming more frequent and devastating, decimating habitats and leaving many species homeless. Animals that once thrived in the cool shade of the trees are now struggling to adapt to warmer, drier conditions. Species that depend on certain plants for food are starving as these plants fail to adapt quickly enough to the changing climate. Others are being forced to migrate, to move up mountains or towards the poles in search of cooler, more hospitable habitats. But not all species are capable of such migration, and those that can't adapt or move are facing the grim prospect of extinction. This is the terrestrial turmoil, the struggle for survival that countless species are facing due to our warming planet. It's not just about one species or one ecosystem. This is about the intricate web of life that holds our planet together. Our Earth's biodiversity is at stake, and every species lost is a step towards an unstable future. Despite the grim picture, there is still hope. Yes, climate change is a daunting challenge, but it's a challenge we can rise to meet. Every one of us, as individuals and as members of our communities, can make a difference. It starts with education, with understanding the issues and the actions that can help. Knowledge is power, and when we use that power, we can effect change. We can make sustainable choices in our daily lives. We can reduce, reuse, recycle. We can choose to support companies that prioritize the environment. We can vote for leaders who recognize the urgency of climate action. We can raise our voices, spreading the word about the importance of protecting our planet's wildlife. We are not powerless. We hold in our hands the ability to shape the future of our world. The future of our planet's wildlife is in our hands. Let's use them wisely.